Yo, guys, what's the difference between unwanted children and thieves?
I feel like I know this one. Unwanted children
And thieves.
thieves.
Mm.
Unwanted children.
Thieves are wanted.
Oh no, my goodness. That's rude.
That is wrong on all
That's
levels.
so rude.
No.
Okay, that's a good one.
Hey everyone.
Hey there.
Welcome to On a Friday podcast yet again. By the very soon we have some surprise.
Hey, vitus na come.
Tutaonyesha tu.
Yes.
But anyway, On a Friday again. Catch us on Spotify, Instagram, YouTube. Wapi pengine? Uko. Apple Podcasts,
Yeah.
Castbox, etc. Tatupata tu. Today we have tulisema madem inakwanga special guest
and a guest.
Alafu wenyewe inakwanga a
We have a
guest.
special guest and we have a guest.
Wow, justice for men.
Aya, tuanze na a guest.
All right. My name is Edwin Nigel Courier.
Ooh.
Goodness. I'm a lot of things. I'll just say, let's just put it out as a media creative because I do so many things from
Yeah.
production to videos to just a lot. So let's just leave it at that. Media creative.
Ungekuwa retailer, ungekuwa zile shops za Kikuyu zinakuanga na kila kitu.
Everything, like maximize on whatever is going on. Yeah, you can't just box yourself. That's why I'm still relevant in the industry. See, that's why.
Mtu anakuja kuuliza uko na besheni? Sina, lakini cash. Nipatie tu 2 hours.
Ati 2 hours.
2 hours.
Anakwambia
Give me a few minutes.
anakwambia
Ngoja
ngoja
kidogo. Nakuja.
Hiyo ndo wewe. That's you.
Yeah, that's me. But primarily, I'm currently focusing just on a lot of video productions in different facets. So from brand videos to documentary films, TV productions as well. Yes.
Nice.
I'm hearing your voice on this.
Oh, and a lot of and my
things.
voice is in a lot
I'm
of
like, hey.
a lot of your promos and ads on
He's a
TV.
voiceover.
Even on some of your flights.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh.
Kwa wenye wametake flights.
Wamesikia mali. Wamesikia sauti ikiwaambia keep calm.
Wenye wajate kuupload ya YouTube audio wende wasikize kwa YouTube. Aya, now to the special guest.
Yes. Yes. Back again.
Back again.
Wakili mwenyewe.
Hey.
Lazima
Karibu.
tuseme anyway.
Lazima.
Kila time.
Wakili a quick one.
I thought she's not coming for legal advice.
Yes, for the first time.
Wakili, karibu.
I complained. I said the audience needs to interact with the non-legal Cynthia. So I'm back. I'm
Karibu,
back, guys.
Cynthia.
Call me for legal.
Yes, you can't keep doing that. Yes.
Cynthia Wakili.
Yes.
Pleasure to have you here again.
Yes.
Now I think we are talking about something that binds us all together. Wakili or not.
No, hata ujiintroduce sisi pia mimi niko hapa.
Okay.
Haya. Hi.
But you said or not.
Hi. Na pia kuna watu audience huko.
Or not.
When you said Wakili or not,
Or not.
you so I'm guessing your name is
or not. The rest of us are not.
Ron is Ron. Okay, I am Ron.
I'm Pascal. Na tuko na audience pale wanapiga makelele wakishikilia
Na tuko na audience.
maji, supu, tunaona.
Flavored water.
Yes.
The family is
Lemon
Adult
flavored
water.
water.
The family is growing.
The family is
one.
growing.
Anyway. So now we're talking about quarter life crisis. Cynthia. And the definition we are working with so that we have the same baseline with our audience. No one to lose anywhere. So the definition is quarter life crisis is a period of uncertainty and questioning over the direction and quality of one's life that typically occurs when people feel trapped, uninspired, and disillusioned during their mid-20s to early 30s. Does this sound like something familiar?
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, it does. We all talk. I feel like there's a lot of focus on you as a child, you transitioning into your teen years, and then you getting into an adult. And then the minute you are alone and now you're trying to figure out life, everyone is just like, okay, it's been real. Just figure shit out.
Do your own shit.
Just figure things out. You're on your own. And they're like, is there a manual or something? No. Just am I doing something right? Maybe. Am I doing something? Probably. Just I feel like that's what that part of your life feels like. And it starts to set in, or maybe for me, it starts to set in my late 20s, where, so you've gone beyond the routine things. You've already gone beyond, I'm trying to prove myself early in my career. So things are starting to pan out. You're starting to figure out, what do I want in my life? But then, because this is not happening in isolation, it's happening in context of so many other things and people around you. You start to ask yourself, okay, is mine the right way? Or am I just like heading to like an explosion, a deep dive of just failure? And that's what's going to happen.
For me, it goes even back where I don't even know where I'm heading.
Until now.
All until like campus, it's a straight structure.
Yes.
Like it's 8-4-4. You're not doing anything else. Stay on this line.
Yes.
As long as you go to school, finish primary and high school, finish with good grades, go to campus, finish your stuff.
Get a
and then you're like,
job.
okay, so now what?
Get a job or start a career, and then you're like, okay.
So may I got stuck at up before getting a job. Because of shitty thing in this country, because jobs are still hard to get. It's still fucking crazy. But it gets to after 8-4-4, like, okay, so now what?
What? Yes.
Like I'm looking for a job. I swear, mom, I'm looking. But hakuna.
And you have your degree,
What do I do?
And nakumbuka, there's a side conversation we had, and not in the podcast, but there's a side conversation we had. I would understand why a lot of people from the older generation might not understand that kind of struggle, because you have to understand, when my dad was 26, tamaking yao ilikuwa unaona print CV copies 20, unazunguka tao kwa ofisi one after the other ukidrop your CVs. Sai he doesn't understand how all you have to do is apply online. You don't have to move.
It looks like you're lazy.
And yet it's hard to find a job. Like anashindwa.
Iko tu hapo kwa simu na upate. Nikufungulia simu nikuonyeshe jobs 50.
Hiyo simu umekuwa ukicheza nayo. Uko tu TikTok na Instagram.
Unashindanga kwa simu.
Unashindanga tu kwa simu. Alafu anakutumia a million links na haelewi how.
Oh my God, when we talk about a million links, I just remembered one time an auntie sent me something. You know, they don't even know what you're doing. Listen, my first degree is in media, second one advertising, etc. And then it sent me something in construction, like NCA. That's not NCA has jobs. Like,
they don't care where there is jobs.
There are jobs.
Shika, there's this job.
So if you tell them nimeshindwa kupata kazi, anashindwa
sina kutumianga kazi.
I sent you a million links.
I sent you a million links. How are you not finding a job? And I get. So anyway.
So mi hapo ndio yangu ilianzia from that stress. That's so when on your definition it said from 25, niko like, that's the feeling I had at that age.
From mid-20s.
Because I'm done with campus. I'm like, okay, so I've been looking for a job na party, so nashinda, okay, so what the fuck do I do with my life sasa?
Na hapa ndo watu wanajua watu wenye wameenda public school. Juu watu private walimaliza first degree at 22, not 24.
You hear first degree was earlier.
Sawa.
Watu walimaliza undergrad 22. Actually ni hit after nimaliza niko like, wait, I'm like 2 years behind.
But then when we talk about 2 years behind, is that's another thing that causes like quarter life crisis, because you feel like you're in, it's not said, but it kind of feels like you're in a sort of like a race in life. Because here you are, all your friends have gotten jobs. They're like, okay, I'm fine. I'm going to get one eventually. Then they start doing things. They start buying homes. They start doing what? You're like, hey, okay. Yo, guys, where are you getting this syllabus and things to do? Am I not doing this right?
Cynthia, wakili.
Unajua kwanza with them their structure yote iko set. Wakimaliza 844 wanaingia KSL. Wakimaliza KSL legal exactly.
Where?
There's a clear cut for you guys.
That's how it seems like from the outside.
That's what it seems like from the outside. The truth is, even when you're in campus, you're always guessing. Like, am I in the right career? Yes. First of all, for this low meds, they are long. Si kama easy other ninis. These other 4 years. Ingine, you know, when you start on the first year, by the time you finish in school, it's on the 6th year. By that time, people in other professions have already done their 4 years. They've gotten their degree. Washaanza kufanya kazi. You're still over there struggling.
The exams.
And it's tough. It is tough. Tough. And then you finish. Sindio? Uko sunawananga tao with the white
with the wigs, the robes,
with the black robes.
Looking like a Harry Potter themed event.
And you have your nice suit and everyone thinks, hey, wakili,
now you're an advocate.
Hata nyumbani umebebwa huko juu. And then the following day it sinks.
Yeah.
Lawyers in this country, young lawyers, we are poorly paid. It is so tough starting.
That's actually very true.
And people do not understand that. And you have to wear a very nice, clean suit going to work.
Yes.
Yes?
Every day.
Because for your profession, the appearance is everything.
Everything, yeah? So you have to look smart. You have to talk in a very,
polished
way.
Yeah.
No, unatumia matatu.
Oh, no.
If people use these matatu za kwenda Karen, za kwenda KSL.
The Naboka ones.
Yes. You will find lawyers there.
In suits.
Wanafikiria tu maisha yao.
Huko nyuma ka PK with their suits.
I love baking. At some point, I was like, you know what? Si lazima. Wacha tu niende nifungue bakery. Nianze tu maisha.
Wallahi.
It got to that point.
But then when you think about it, lawyers are the guys with the most side hustles.
Yes.
It's like I'm a lawyer and I'm a DJ. I'm a lawyer, I'm a musician. I'm a lawyer, I'm this.
First of all, the number of lawyers who are in the entertainment industry, wako wengi. Nani Charisma did law.
Yeah.
Nani hii group ya Kuku.
Yes.
Kina Elani, those ones.
Kina Elani, walikuwa
yeah.
nini. Like, once you get to know their background, like, hii entertainment industry iko a lot of advocates. Like, what's...
And engineers.
Vibes.
There's a young advocate I ever worked with, mwenye right before he graduated from KSL, akacha kufanya. Like, alikuwa pupil where I was working. Then one day, he just woke up, he sent his resignation letter, and the next day we didn't see him. He went to do software development. Like, nikamuuliza, si hatunge graduate like, you have gone through all this hustle. Graduation a week, a month and a half. So you just graduate, then you leave it. Kasema, imagine ilinikata tu. Then there was another nini he was expecting a program which started like a boot camp. Ilikuwa inaanza immediately. So he felt like, if I don't get this chance right now, I might have to wait for at least another year for me to do this, and I can't do that. So okay, it actually makes sense to some. No, jamii nilikuwa nafikiria lawyers ndo wanakuanga na like clear cut, like unajuanga
wabatishi. Unajua si wengine unamaliza econ finance, unamaliza sijui hizi makosi zingine PR, public admin, national do.
Unaenda kwa salesperson tao.
There are like 50 of you in one place looking for one job.
Exactly.
Yes.
You know, once even after you get into the job market, it still comes in. Juu auko sure that's where you want to be.
Exactly.
Like, tumemaliza tumepata kazi. So
Yes.
I'm not even where you want to be. I feel like the first question I had about myself was, I remember when I joined, first I started in the newsroom. And the pay at that time, my God, peanuts. So you're there and you're thinking, okay, you walk in every morning, the parking lot is full. You're like, oh, so when do I ever get to drive my head with this? Is this what it's about? You're like, okay, people are buying. You walk through, you see those adverts for homes, guys are selling homes, 50% sold. You're like, who is buying these?
What you are bees, my friends.
So you start thinking, am I doing the right thing? Is this the time to jump? If I stay in here for so long, is this going to be what my life looks like? Like, I could not even imagine when I see people who've been in, now, okay, I can imagine because I've seen the realities of adulthood, but like you've been in one job for like over 20 years at the same level, at the same thing. You're like, okay, that's a bit depressing. So you start looking at that and you're like, that's going to be, might be me.
And that frightens us. Nobody wants to do the same job for more than 5 years.
Yeah.
Our age, akuna.
Personally, mimi niko sawa nayo. But
except Ron.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem I've been struggling with, and I know other people who have also been struggling with it. When they went through the education system, at least the initial one, 844, they had a certain goal in mind. So it's like they had their life planned out. Wanajua ndamaliza campo, this is what I will want to do. I'll do a master's in around the same field. Then anatoka, they find it a challenge to get an opportunity, at least initially, wanna find a challenge to get an opportunity within that space.
Yes.
Alafu now, pressure from home, anaanza kuambiwa, hey, bro, like alafu unajua unaingia social media unaanza kuambiwa nyi watu wenye mko na degree mnafikiria mwezi fanya anything like you need just take anything, like utatoka huko nje realize degree yako it's not everything for you to make money. Then you start questioning this path that you had nini na maybe in your head ulikuwa joweni Jeff Bezos in 20 years utakuwa unaambia watu how I struggled and I didn't have money for 10 years but then things started picking out. But mzazi wako anafikiria nani atakuwa kilipa rent in those 10 years as you are struggling. Then you just start getting derailed, you start doing other things, then all of a sudden you realize you are in your early 30s and you are nowhere where you imagined you would be.
First of
at
all,
that
the pressure of getting to 30, now that I'm over 30 slightly.
Just
over 30.
We're talking about that low morning.
Just over. Just over. The pressure is so much because it's like we've also, society has kind of said like, by 30 you should have done 1, 2, 3
family.
And so like the 2 years leading up to 30, and now I'm 31, so I don't really like the 2 years leading up to 30, you're like, you have so many things, like, oh my God, I've not done so many things, and I have only these 2 years to cram everything in, and then nothing seems to be working. So you try this, you start this doesn't end, you finish this, and you're like, wow, I'm just a failure.
Walai.
Now a question to all of us, Tanzania, Cynthia.
Yes.
What would you consider to be 2 of the biggest crises that you have faced during that period?
The quarter life crisis. For me, has to be career and relationship. Relationships, actually, because there are romantic ones and friendship ones.
How many romantic relationships?
Because they're all relationships. You see, people forget friendships also. They're also relationships. Because there are people you're friends with growing up. Some you meet in campus, but then they are not meant to be in your life because mtaachana. That is now what happens when you're in this period. There are people who will be doing way better than you are. The others doing way less than you are doing. Yes. So our koju, if you want to keep up with them, that means there are some things you'll have to compromise. You have to live in a better place, though you cannot afford the rent. You have to go in those outings, the fancy places they go to. Yes. And if you try to now stay with these ones when you're coaching yako, you never really feel challenged. So niko sawa, niko sawa. So for me, that's learning one, that it's okay to lose some people along the way as you make new friends. That is just part of this period, yes? And also having the faith, because the other thing is religion, yes? I pray. That's just me. Just feeling content with where I'm at. Yes? In each... Yani, it's very confusing because sometimes you wonder, am I doing the right thing? Am I getting too late? There's a lot of questions. Just, you una chill, una cool down a bit, and you take each day as it comes.
I have a question on that. When you say contentment, I know to some degree it's actually a very healthy thing to have, but now I want to get your perspectives on it. How do you distinguish between you being contented with where you are and you using that as an excuse to stagnate?
Ooh.
Whoa. I feel like for me, contentment would be if I probably laid out certain goals or objectives of things I want to do and I got there. So for me now, I'm content that, you see, anything I'm doing after this is a bonus. Like I kind of got where I needed to go. But if it's anything less than that, then I'm lying to myself. I'm probably just stuck and I don't want to admit it.
And you're running away from things. You don't want to meet people.
So how do you distinguish that? I'm a nothing from your end. Nothing from your end.
Next question.
Because to some degree, how I view life, that's why to some degree I find external pressure beneficial to some degree, because itafika mahali ikuamshe, because sometimes inakuanga tu by then you and umelala, si ati things are not working out because the universe is against you. Ni wewe tu umelala. So sometimes ndaka chini nione, Pascal is doing this, Nigel is doing this, Cynthia is doing this. I have the ability to do this. Then when you're honest with yourself, you kind of do that reflection. Unaona, if I could have done this better, or if I could have approached this better, I would have been closer to where I want to be as I'm looking at.
But I have a caveat to that. It's good to have that external pressure and see, so-and-so is doing this, and so if I did that, I'd do this. But doesn't it also just put you're just looking to go back into the pipeline of all of us now are doing this. We came from campus, now we do this. Like, for instance, I remember when we were leaving high school, there's this time everyone was doing CPAs, ACCAs.
When I did it.
Really?
And you see, exactly.
I was supposed to do it.
I remember leaving and saying, I'm not doing any of that. I have no desire to do anything around that. However, even after saying that, after a while, you realize in the estate where you live, everyone has done CPA and those. And now you start feeling, my goodness, it's like a panic starts to creep in. Have I just, messed up? Is there enough time for me to go back? So I feel like if I look at it that way, also in life, yes, it's good to have, and what she said about friendships, like you're oscillating between people who are doing very well and others, but it's good to also know maybe the biggest quarter life crisis here is also like, do you know what you want for your life, figuring out what you want, because when you figure it out, then even the pressure that comes in line with, because we are pressuring you maybe as your friends, we're like, you're Ron, you've been talking about wanting to do this and you have everything, why are you not doing this? It's not now because everyone is doing this. Do it.
Okay, that actually makes sense.
That jumps into what my two, if I can go on mine, is knowing what I want to do. Like in my late 20s, really struggled with what the fuck am I doing here? Like, kazi tu nisome, nifanye kazi, nilipe bills.
Niko na swali hapo. Ukiwa mtoi, what did you want to be?
Scientist.
Why? No, I want to hear the reasons why for each person.
Exactly what I wanted to say. Boy, genius.
The reason I asked that is because we based it on very flimsy things. Because growing up,
so easy, Dexter.
Growing up, I wanted to be a banker, and why I wanted to be a banker. I learned, back then, because my mom and dad would always go with me to the bank when they're going to do their transactions, and so I learned a bank is where guys get money. So my rationale was like, why not just be the people giving money? I'll have the money.
It's not the experience to be exposed to. So
it's funny how we both thought the same. Like, many live kid. Dexter. Okay.
So growing up and then realizing I can't be a scientist, constantly hitting in high school.
Can't?
Hit in high school when biology was hard.
It just didn't.
I loved physics. Physics didn't love me back. I tried with biology. Biology didn't try with me back.
Chemistry
and then
was
our chemistry teacher was just shit. End of story. You're like, there goes my sciences. I learned geography as a science. I'm like, kumbe kuna hope. Alafu results zinatokea tofauti. Like, pia ikwende. So I gave up on it. Becoming an adult, like, so I don't know what I want to do anymore. Who I am. I've just been following the brick road. PTA 844 ukimaliza, ndo hizi jobs apply. Finally you got one. Fanya hiyo. Okay, so nafanya nini kwa I'm just doing this. I don't feel alive. I don't feel.
Ukafanya CPA.
CPA nilikata. Yote tulipigana. Nililazimishwa nikakataa. Nikamwambia hadi nalipio nikakataa.
Really?
Nika regret 2 years later. Then 3 years later, by this is
I didn't need
not
this.
necessary. I do feel like I'll regret it when I turn older, though.
I regret it every tax season. I'm like, I have to pay someone to do this for me. I don't know how to do my taxes.
But for me,
unafanya CPA kufile nil returns.
My second one is now society pressure.
Yeah.
I feel the pressure at turning 30.
Yeah.
I am so afraid nasikia nikaneza simamisha mwaka. Like tulieni, like just pause kwanza. Let's not start 2025 just yet.
Yeah.
I feel a lot of pressure on that. Financially, how much money I'm supposed to have. Assets, land, nyumba. Not seeing any of those, I'm like, fuck.
How are you? How are you planning to mark that transition? Like you may notice mademu wengi wananywanga tu only 2 periods in their lives. Either when they go through a breakup or when they turn 30. No, venye ukiona demu amenyoa ameanza kuchoma nywele, ameanza kupaka nywele rangi.
No, they are going through it.
Unajua either waliachana ama 30 inafika.
I completely agree. I went through that phase.
Ulinyoa?
Yeah.
Walai.
I woke up, it was after COVID 2020. I was first in a very terrible relationship. And COVID hit, nilikuwa Machakos. So I just woke up one day and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Na mi hata sikuenda kinyozi.
Yote!
Yes. Yes.
I looked
at myself and I was like,
what's
Cynthia?
the relation between hair and this transition?
I don't know. I think you get to a point where you feel, I need a fresh start. And at that point is when also I was now going to be admitted as in my town, we call it admission. But I was going now to become a lawyer, yes? So I just felt, this is not what I wanted. This is not what I hoped for. I wish people told me it will be this tough. Yes. The relationship bit too. Because there is a thing for ladies, you have to balance a career, finances, if maybe you're supporting people home, and you have to be in a relationship. Yes. For you guys, the pressure comes in when it comes to marriage after 30.
Kids.
Hapo ndio naanzanga kusikia, now at least I've accomplished this and this. I need someone in my life.
Sikuambia last time ulikuwa ushago, my dad, that's where I knew it was bad. My dad aliniuliza, unaletea mtu lini? Ashindwa hata wewe.
Me, the worst one was being asked, umekuja peke yako?
Again.
It sounded like I betrayed you.
Muuliza tu, kwani like surely hata uintroduce. Letanga tu hata kama si permanent.
Tujue.
Tuone ni temporary ya kisonga.
At least tujue test yako. Kwa kwanza, wa pili, wa tatu, tujue hata tukienda kukusaidia.
Tujue tunatafuta wapi.
Tunaanzia wapi.
Now for us, it starts from when you hit 25.
Yeah.
Because parents will push you, read, get that degree. So you read during that campus time. Yes.
Masomo tu.
Hatutaki boyfriend.
Don't talk to me.
Sayo wameka saini ya umbu wakali ya
my degree.
Yes, and then you get your degree and then they're asking you mtu. Utamtoa wapi?
Na yo saini ya umbu wakali bado yuko hapo.
Exactly.
Hawajaito.
So ukileta degree toshi, hirudi so utafute mtu.
Sasa nitamtoa wapi?
Ukileta mtu atataka mtu mwingine. A small human.
Campus, I was just reading, focusing. I didn't want to get involved in such things. Yes?
Yeah.
Now, you come to the working place. You meet older guys. You meet guys your age. They just... Do I build with this one who's also building with me, or I just go with this one who has already established themselves a bit?
Yeah.
Very confusing.
Kuna dem liwak na yale niambia she's not Bob the Builder. Yeah, jengi na.
Why did they say that?
Yeah, jengi na wewe.
And that's the other thing. You build with a guy. You build with a guy, and then they go for better. I don't know what is that about.
They go for their types.
Yes, exactly.
You are not that. By the way, it's actually a very controversial thing that I've said in the discussions I've had. But personally, I believe it's the case. A lot of young men settle down because they don't have a lot of options.
Yes.
Then they get to their late 30s, early 40s, when I realize, kumbe I can even bag this 10. I didn't know I could bag this 10.
Yes.
Then they start bagging the 10.
Yes.
Then
Jolisha said like you are early 30s.
Now inakuwa ulinijo Kenya walikuwa nasema married men in Nairobi behave as if they were forced to get married.
I mean, in a way they were. Most of them, it's a result of circumstances. We started cohabiting with someone because we're saving rent. Now we are married, we have kids, etc.
Yes.
Yeah.
These kind of things, yeah.
And now for us, now you eat your 30, ni kama the society now, people always now say, umesha pita hiyo stage ya kutakwa, yes? And, you know, most ladies are like, you know what? Sawa, I'm okay, let me just focus on my career. Yeah?
Na kanisa,
ni sawa. And I'll be happy, yes?
Ama nini inaitanga branch hosting, one of those.
No, and realize all of a sudden Wednesday fellowship zote ziko kwake.
Because we need to really just sit down and vent, because what is happening?
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, right now I'm almost getting to my 30s.
Yeah.
Yes. So unaangalia, because I didn't have those serious, you know, bondings and relationship in campus. So now I have to figure out, if I go older, these ones have already settled down. Either they have a kid or, you know.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
Nataka kujingiza kwa hiyo mix. I've been waiting this long. Nijingize tu kwa hiyo mix. Yeah, you become a second wife or, and it's okay. Unasema, you know what? Ni sawa. Acha niombe. Mungu ataleta huyo mtu. Sasa tutafanya nini? Unaenda unaambia madhe, by the way, just give me time. It is how the generation is. Yeah. I think that time it was easier getting married. Our time it's a bit difficult.
Yo ilikuwa hapo village iko pale kando next. Tenda waongea na mtu pale kule kunapenda nani pale.
At this point I support ni those arranged marriages.
We need to go back to that.
The ones we are arranging are not working.
We need to go back to arranged marriages.
Our arranging skills are not at par.
We've seen we can't do it on our own. As long as atuchagulie type yetu.
Ulikuwa sema yako ilikuwa ya career na
yangu ni si career.
You don't know what you wanted to do.
Purpose, energy. I don't have energy for, like, I felt, there's an Instagram post I saw, ilikuwa young men below 30 ask men above 30 what you want to know. And the one that had the most likes kwa comment hapo juu ilikuwa, does the energy ever come back? I felt it genuinely feel when I lost my energy. I wasn't even 30 and I felt it.
I still have my energy.
Hata nilikuwa nikuuliza, do you need to see someone?
Like, my quarter life, mine number one was...
Tunaweza enda group therapy, I'm a supportive friend.
But therapy is something that's very important. I recommend it to each and every person.
Yes.
When you're going through life, because I feel like that started to give me a lot of clarity on a lot of things. You know, in the beginning I used to be like, why are you going to therapy? Me, I'm okay. I don't have problems. And then I did a project that was, you know, covering mental wellness, and I realized, I actually do need to see a therapist, because the ventings we do amongst our friends is like that meme where they say like it's two girls just like exactly. You're just venting and not helping each other. Exactly. You need that. There's a level of professional help.
I didn't necessarily. I did therapy for a while. It kind of helped, but it just helped me understand the problem better. That I lost that drive, I lost that energy, I lost that purpose. Junilifika at the end of the road, you go like, I did the full process what you guys wanted me to do. So now I'm here. Now what? Kafka your level. And then my second one now ilikuwa society pressure. And the pressure of hitting 30.
But kuna therapist ulikuwa nayo who was very bad at his job.
Some of them are bad.
Mbona ulikuwa bad?
Kuna ule mwenye kulikuwa alikuwa na dose kwa session.
How boring was your life? You transferred the life.
Not again.
That was not on me. That was an old man. Like I think he was 50 or something. That is the last time I saw an old person as a therapist.
He just needed an afternoon nap.
So imagine this. He's gone in because he feels he's tired and losing energy. And the person zero energy. You're like, this is what the future looks like.
Like, you can't even stay awake for 10 minutes, bro. To do your job.
Anaricharge kwa session yako.
Alikuwa alikuwa anatoka hapo anaenda kulala kwa desk yake pia. Nikapanda really hope. Yeah, that's the last time I did therapy with anyone older than 35.
Yeah.
I'm at 30. This is like, after that I went back to young therapists.
Yeah.
When I'm a graduate juicy na mimi.
When you want to lower your problems,
Yeah.
For me, I think the two biggest issues I've had to deal with, one is what to do. Because for a vast majority of my 20s, I didn't know what I wanted to do in life.
You see the same nangu ya purpose?
Siniyo.
Oh.
Sasa hizi tuseme
amekopi lakini hataki ionekane imekopi.
Alafu anaanza kuchange words hapo.
Na handwriting ni different.
Way better. It is the same thing.
Yeah, because hata Pascal, you know, there was quite a period of time where nilikuwa najua there's so many productive things I can do with my life, but I don't know what I should focus on. So that's the first one. The second one was religion. I guess it still is, because I grew up in a
Christian.
Yeah, can I say religious? Yeah, in a Christian home. Let me put it like that. In a Christian home. My dad is very faith-based, actually. So ilifika mahali where I started questioning a lot of things. Na tumongelea kwa hiyo episode ya religion.
Yeah.
Where na feel ni kama nikienda church, ile teaching pastor ananipatia, it's just an echo of what nilifundishwa Sunday school. So it's like imefika mahali where
saturation points.
It's like the teaching is not applicable to my life.
Yeah.
Kitu kaa hiyo. Yeah. So at that point, as I said in that episode, nikasema, let me just try to find out and go through this exploration journey. If at the end of it all I find it doesn't make sense, let me find it. It doesn't make sense then. But I do want to take the approach of disregarding something that I'm struggling with yet I don't understand. And I'm struggling with it because I know I don't understand it. So yeah, those are the two biggest issues that I have. Actually, pressure yangu na do imeanza kuja very recently. Actually, because for a long time in my adulthood, I didn't really value money that much. To be honest.
Hey, you're different.
I really don't.
Money is the one thing that's usually on my mind a lot of the time.
I really didn't.
It's my top two.
It's your top two, number one and two.
No. It's a different number one, but it's always,
what is the number one?
It's always moving to number one or two, but right now it's number two.
But now hiyo ni pressure ilianza kuniget, I think nikifika 27-28 na nakaanza like, hey, watu wanasemanga ati money doesn't solve your problem, let me find it out then. Acha nipatie hiyo pesa, then I find out it doesn't solve my problems. Now I can cry in my Bentley, that's fine. but seriously,
right?
Yeah. But seriously ilia kwa 2kW sako but ataniangalia wanashinda. Mmefinyana bana.
Unaenda kulia kidogo, we change.
Unagongwa na mama na gunia.
Ebu nionyeshe message ya M-Pesa, like I'm going through an existential problem here banana. Unataka ku confirm 60 bob.
But the smart need to clean up. Yeah,
to clean up.
Please.
Mnakanga karibu mwanze kubebana. Yeah, so basically those have been my challenge. Ulisema
before his on money, because definitely yours is money. I feel like all of us have money.
I'll explain why. I'll get them. But I won't even start with money. My first one is on money. My first one that I face, and I think, yes, therapy has helped a bit, but you never really get over it, is really being in tune with your pacing and direction. And when I say pacing and direction, it's because there are times a lot of things are happening in your life and you're like, okay, I'm content. Things are going. I'm killing it. Things are happening. And then there are times you have like lull moments.
Yeah.
And then there are times, it's maybe a mix of both, but then you're comparing yourself with how everyone else is moving. Yes. So you're like, oh my God, my pace of life. Here I am. I'm struggling to, even get out of bed in the morning and I'm seeing everyone is sharing their run times. They're doing yoga. They're doing, I'm like, you guys have energy for that. You have time for that. These kind of things. They're like, you're having a balanced life. What's happening? Or pacing, you're like, oh, this one has already started their family. This one has already started their portfolio of investments. This one has already started their career trajectory. This one's like,
traveling abroad.
I mean, the one thing that's probably on my mind at that point is like, where is my Safaricom line? Is giving me problems. I need to go to that. Like, you start to trivialize what's happening. And I feel like that for me is a big thing.
Yeah.
Second one is definitely finances.
Yeah.
And I'm going to explain why. Because I feel like finances cut across so many things. As you said, growing up, we don't really think much about finances. The only thing you think about finances is I want to be financially secure.
Yeah.
Or I want to be able to afford the lifestyle I want.
Yeah.
But then growing up, when we leave campus and we're in early years, we are all okay because a lot of the people you have in your life or your friends, you're all going through the same struggles. I'm having this HR who's a problem. I'm having this colleague I want to punch. Like that way, right? Then when your careers start to launch in different trajectories or you guys start to pivot, then you realize you're also changing your financial, class or strata where you are. Yeah. It's not ideally a problem because most of the times, like if you've established solid friendships, like for me, I realize I've had probably the same group of friends over half my life. Wow. So we've seen each other go through the ebbs and flows. And I used to think that's normal until you find a lot of people in your age, they're so lonely. My God, all their relationships are circumstantial. Oh, these are my friends we drink with. These are the ones because we're working with, etc. But you see, the underlying thing is still finance because what happens is you guys have different financial muscle now. I still want to cling onto these relationships or friendships, or I want to be in these groups, but maybe I can't afford it. Or I can afford it, but maybe I can't sustain it for the number of times you guys do it. So for me, finance has always been something.
Same with people lower than you.
Exactly.
They want to sustain with you, but they can't keep up.
But they can't keep up. And then also sometimes you also want to hang out with them. But then there are things you kind of feel like I need to deny myself because then if I do, it's going to make...
it looks like you're bragging.
It's going to make it tougher for them to, to navigate life through the things that you're doing. So like figuring that out and being okay with this is now my reality and this is my pacing. And fine, it's okay. I probably get my home in 10 years while people are getting theirs in 2 years or they have them now. Or I'm going to probably get my cars at this time or my investment portfolios. You probably probably don't have enough to invest. And here you are, someone is talking to you, oh, but have you looked at the prices of the bonds and share securities, etc.? And you're just thinking, my God, do I have money for shopping for tomorrow? Those kind of things. So it's a very... For me, that has always been an anxiety-inducing thing. Whether I have it or not. Because my goal is I want to put to a point where I don't have to worry about money because then it's really, when you think about it, it's the foundation of so many things of your adult life. It determines where you live. And where you live now determines the kind of quality of life you have. The spaces you get to connect with, the people you network with. If you start a family, what kind of quality of life are your children going to have? The kind of thing, the schools they go to, etc., etc. So, like for me, those two things, and they're a bit tied together because you see, pacing also, you don't want to feel like you've been left behind by your peers way too much that you're like, hey, am I ever going to get to a point where we are even close? We're never going to be at the same line, that's for sure. But like, at least are we within the same stratosphere? Like, cool, and everybody's like, you're seeing them cool. You're even opening a Forbes magazine. You're like, 6 of my friends made it to the top 100 for this. And here I am.
Thinking about tomorrow's shopping.
Thinking about tomorrow's... the significant thing. So like, that pacing thing and financial thing for me is always anxiety inducing. Very much.
That's what I'm calling society pressure. Because honestly, we compare ourselves a lot. And it gets more. I feel like it gets more the older we get.
But it's pressure, but you can't stop it. And actually, when the older you get, it's even worse. Because it comes in very subliminal, subtle ways.
Yes.
It's, you'll probably be at a family thing and then one of your uncles is going to be like, oh, I saw the so-and-so that you went to primary school with. But I just saw they started. They're the ones building that building that's there. They're not asking you where is yours, but they're subliminally just asking you. Okay,
what is happening? Yes.
At what? At you have how many followers on TikTok? That's what you have to show. Okay. That's kind of...
I was traveling and guess who was the pilot? Primary.
Imagine.
I actually he
came and said hi to me.
He seems so different now. I almost couldn't recognize expensive.
Family does that kwanza, just remind you of where other people are in life. Oh, kuna cousin yako sijui anafanya nini.
No, but you see, they do it wanting the best for you, but they don't understand how that
the impacts
you.
You're like, what? You go back to your house, you're just crying. You're like, no, my goodness.
I don't want to even go outside. Wacha tu nikae ndani.
Then you hear people have started calling for reunions. You're like, do I want to go to that reunion and tell them my career stalled?
Yes. Yeah. By them share that reunion.
Me, I've gone for a couple.
Me, I've always said, it's not a must.
I've gone to those where I found myself in the vicinity when that's happening. Never, but they never planned to be there. But like, well, oh, is this happening? Okay, I'll pass by. But I always pass by and that's it.
Okay. Pascal, see at a reunion.
There's a trick one, like a 2-year, 3-year reunion. Zile tunapatana tucheze PS, tukunywa twende home.
But that was so long ago. Na hiyo ilikuwa high school.
Tunasema hizo kwani watu na reunion gani?
See a campus.
Could be any. Oh yeah, I've done a campus one.
By the way, do you know the most unfortunate part? When I was in tukimaliza Campo, there's something I said in jest, but sai naona it's actually a reality. Nilimake to joke. One of the last times to meet before we finished. But like, unajua kuna watu hapa tutaonana kwa matanga.
Yeah.
Like the next time we'll see each other, some of us here.
The reality.
Itakuwa kwa matanga. Menyamaza. Hakuna mtu amekufa bado. Don't worry.
You're going a dark path.
No, we are letting it sink because it's the reality. Think about when you see a lot of these people, you're like, oh, because you guys went, you lost a classmate or something, you're like, oh, I haven't heard from them. Oh, that's what happened. Okay.
Yes.
And what Cynthia said, it's so hard to maintain these friendships after, like when we're in school, it's easy because we had that common thing. We're all in school.
Yes.
But after school, people get different jobs, people do different things. Financial classes zinakuwa different. So ndaenda kupatana na mseji wako Mombasa na nashinda kizunguka. I see him clubbing everywhere in Nai. Like we were friends in campus, but I can't keep up now anymore.
And thank God for Instagram, because that's the only way most people keep tabs on other people. Yes.
Like you just stalk them. Bila like when I scroll to uchungu sifinye mara mbili. You better not move when you're scrolling before you end up liking picture. Cool. Okay.
Anyway, any lessons zenye tumelan
life
or tunalan?
Adulting is a lie. Adulting
Let me tell you, if there's a lesson I have learned, and I think probably we should learn this earlier, is none of us know what we are doing. Let's first start there. Because one of the things that gives you the biggest pressure is always thinking, oh, look at Ron. Ron looks like he has his life together. He knows what's happening. And then now I have that as my... Kumbe Ron is holding on to dear life to get things going.
If you only knew what Ron knew.
So there's that. Like, I think number one, neither of us have ever been at this age before or this age bracket. So neither of us know. At best, all we have is sort of like guidelines or like ideas of what we think we should be doing. So I think it's easy, be a bit easier on yourself in terms of these things. Am I saying you're gonna have bad days? Yeah, you're gonna have some days that are terrible and you're gonna hate yourself. But try as much as possible to also like be appreciative of some of the things that you've done along there, even just surviving the day. That in itself, be like, tap you like I did it.
Yes.
That in itself happened. And then number two, when you allow yourself to just understand that we are never going to be at the same playing field or the same level completely, then you just focus on, let me see how best I can curate whatever my level is. It's going to be. For me, I think those are major lessons.
And I think that's actually easier said than done for a lot of people. Because the thing is, when you hear someone, let's say in their late 30s, 40s, 50s, after washa make, waki explain their challenging periods, like wanasema how they struggled for 15 years before things finally clicked, then enough a point where that motivates you. Okay, like, kume there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Then at some point you pass across another person's story mwenye yake 30 years haijaiisha. Okay, like, will I be the one who made it after 15 years or the one who never made it even after 30?
I feel like you need accountability. When we talk about therapy, that's one thing. It can be, your accountability can be the friend system you have. It can be your family system. It can be whatever. Because think about it. He said it very well. we are so structured. We've come from structure 844.
Yeah.
Here is your life. The one thing that was the underlying thing that kept you in check was our accountability systems. Whether it was schools, whether it was things that's happening. Then we get into adulthood, we are like, I'm grown. I don't need accountability. But grown, but you don't know what you're doing. So it helps if you also set up accountability measures for yourself, which allow you to be realistic. Because possibly why you're still 30 years and it still hasn't worked is because you've deluded yourself all through, and maybe you needed to abandon it at year 5 and you're just like, okay, but no, because I had that story of that person and they has panned out in 15. Zangot has Jafka 15, but have you even been doing checkpoints? Like, am I even heading towards anything?
The same.
I loved when I had that realization. Hit. I was high on a lot of shit that day when it hit me, but I was like, I see it as clear as day.
I am that
we had a system when we were growing up. Like 844 isn't just a path; it's a system. It's a structure. So you don't have uncertainty. Unajua next year unaenda the next class, next month, next term uko na exam. Like everything is said.
Cut iko time. Midterm nenda time.
It's very clear.
Yeah.
And then you finish all that period and you go like, okay, so nadu. I loved when I got that realization that I need to set up your system. Juu ilikuwa inasaidia back then.
Now you have to set it yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
The world is not setting it for you.
It's not, imagine.
Yeah.
But we want to know that that's a system we are setting. Tulifundishwa hii ni kitu unafanya. Si tafadhali fanya. We want to know it's a system that will help us be balanced vizuri and lose the uncertainty. So right after 2 system, quarter life happens. Kwa like, what the
Una imagine class 5 ka ungepatiwa option ya kufanya, kuna watu wenye tungecheza 14 days straight. Like unaenda kucheza futa kila siku. Hakuna siku ati acha nikachini.
You'd only go to the classes you liked and then you're like, I don't like that teacher.
Ama jubeshte yako yuko huko.
Yeah. And then something else also struggled with Neo. Nobody knows what they're doing. I know it's a truth, it's a fact. But I see some people doing big things like kona leakage. There's something that we don't know. How the fudge are you driving this?
I don't think it's always a situation of right time, right opportunity. Because when you think about it, think of people, maybe you guys did the same thing in school. And you have the same capability. You're probably even more competent than they are. Sometimes it's the reality of there are certain opportunities they probably got exposed to or were part of that you are never part of.
Yes.
Or there's also a foundational setting. If you come from a background that also supports you, and you as opposed to coming from a background where you're also going to have to support at some point, your priorities and for that person are not the same. Here is one person who's saying, Dad, I got like 3 million. I just need you to add me for like another 2 so that I can buy this.
Yes.
Leakage.
You see, and then
we are not cut off from the same cloth.
And then there's you being called, your uncle was feeding the cow, amejikata na shoka. Now you just we're looking for the second leg. Now give us money. It's like, what is something that's happening?
True.
You see?
That's actually very Cynthia.
For me, the thing I have learned hard way is learn to let things go. Usishikilie vitu. Secondly, be happy. Find what makes you happy. Find that one thing that helps you wake up every morning. If it is a workplace, but then you know it's toxic, you don't like going there every day, no one is telling you to stay there. Find something.
The landlord is. But anyway, I get your point.
Just find something that, even when you guys talk about purpose and all that, some of the people we think are doing very good in life is because they figured a point and found this is the thing I really love. Because the minute you find something that makes you happy, that gives you that encouragement to wake up early in the morning.
Excited to do that.
Nivo. Imagine you have hacked it. That's the secret, Pascal. Just find that one thing. It may be difficult. You may guess a lot. But the minute you find it, everything else, itajipanga.
In place.
And don't be afraid of letting things go. That even people, things, people,
money comes, money goes.
Yes.
That's my lesson.
Yes.
hiyo niko umeniangalia uko like Ron, tumia hiyo pesa ikuzoe.
Money comes, money goes.
Yes. And find something to believe in.
But they invest in experiences.
Yes.
At the end, everyone is always like, I wish I did, or I'm glad I did this. Never like, oh my God, I'm so glad I had a large investment portfolio. Invest, yes, but also don't deny yourself to the point of like, oh my, everything is going to investment.
People went to Diani for a whole weekend.
Woko like, no, I'm saving for my future. What do you mean?
And then you die tomorrow.
And then the last thing.
And then you get $1 million tomorrow. Now you're saving, it's useless. Genda to Diani.
Yeah. To add on to that, live today, acha ya kesho. Yes.
Yeah.
The only thing that stresses most young people is because you want to keep and to hold on to things because you're afraid of tomorrow. The minute you learn to live in the present, nivo.
Yeah.
There are people who just operate in this life. Nikama, I love how men are. Atatumia the last cent. Alafu uko like, Takesho anajua atapata.
Money comes, money goes.
Hope faith. Anajua kesho ntapata. And the minute you learn to live like that, nini ingine?
That's a lesson I need to learn. If I don't have the next 3 months figured out, oh my God.
He's not doing today.
I don't even do that.
He's not doing today.
It can be, I don't even do that.
He's not living in today's moment.
No, but I used to be you. I used to be
even
you.
Me, I used to be you.
Na incubate leo. Unaona how animals in the North Pole, ikifika nini, they hibernate for 6 months.
This will sound insensitive, but I'm thankful for the pandemic. Because I feel like that's when the switch was like, yo, all this. And it could, like, I didn't leave. I did not interact with people for like 5 months. Me, I was very paranoid. I was like, I'm going. This is it. 5 months I was in my house. This people was watching things and they're doing Then when they fungulia does like that, I was like, you know what? I'm going to live life. Now I do solo vacations. I do whatever. Like everything is structured around am I happy? Yes. Let's move. Let's move.
Go for that dinner. Risk that text.
Spend that moolah.
Kwanza you could risk that text.
I should.
Yangu. I think the greatest lesson I've learned so far, and I've mentioned it in one of our episodes before, when you don't know what the right thing is, as far as what you're supposed to do, at least try not to do the wrong one. Yeah. At least it keeps you in check as you're trying to figure out what the right thing is. So that's the biggest lesson I've learned.
Utalanizi zingine zetu pia.
Hiyo kwanza kuspend. Bro. I'll learn it.
Awesome. Manze, it's been nice having you all. Mature conversations hapa fiti.
Yes.
And the point for us wanted to do this is just to show we're all going through these kinds of things and experiences. And they suck, but it's good to hear that zinapita. Life after 30 is comfortable. Like there's a life, you don't die or turn to dust.
And you have
or
energy.
you can die and it doesn't matter anymore.
There's no one way. Look at him.
Good.
In his 20s, less energy than me in my 30s.
Imagine. And we're gonna be okay.
Yes, we're gonna be
fine.
Okay,
from us, bye. We're gonna be Kesho iko poa. We don't need to think about tomorrow.
Let's
bye.
live for now.
Bye.
Drink
Drink samba. Cheers.